Mutta. Freed am I, oh freed indeed. Freed from three crooked things. From mortar, pestle, and my crooked lord. Freed from birth and death. And all that held me back. I've thrown it off. Pew. I draw water so cold. I go to the river bank often. Is there someone afraid of evil? Who, like me, goes to the water? Then a Brahmin said to me, who are you, that you, again and again, go to the water? The evil deed you have done. How will you be freed from it? Then I said to the Brahmin, listen, Brahmin, I will explain. I am freed from evil deeds. Freed from what is evil. In whatever evil I'd done before. I have come out from it. What you say is amazing. You say you are freed from evil, while still bathing in the water, still touching it. Then I said to the Brahmin, listen, Brahmin, I will explain. Those who are ignorant are the ones who think. They are freed from evil by bathing in water. This is not the way to be freed from evil. Brahmin, so says the one who knows. For if this were so, then all the frogs, turtles, snakes, crocodiles, and whatever other creatures go to the water, would all go to heaven. Whatever evil deeds you've done, don't hide them in the river. Keep yourself aloof from evil deeds. Brahmin, so you won't go to hell. Then that Brahmin said to me, you are wise, dear lady. I had come to the water thinking I could be purified. But now I am purified by you. I give you this upper cloth and undercloth, that you may be clothed in them. Then I said to him, these cloths are for you. I don't need cloths, for I am fully clothed. If you want to give me something, O Brahmin great of heart. Then that Brahmin said to me, excellent, dear lady. I will support the one without anxiety, so she won't be anxious anymore. And so that Brahmin led me to the teacher's presence. Having approached the awakened one, the deathless was realized. Tissa. At first I was out of my mind. Deluded, my mind overwhelmed. I left my husband out of disgust, both him and my wealth. But now I'm one whose actions are good, my mind well centered. I hold to the teacher's message. I've gone forth never to return. Mitta. When I was young and beautiful, and finally made of form, my relatives gathered round. They wanted me married to wealth, but disgusted with birth, aging, and death, I renounced wanting to be a wife. I went to the homeless life. I've reached the ending of all duress. Bada Kapalani. For 25 years, I served a Brahmin, restraining from sex, abstaining from evil. Then, Bada, I found release. Seeing the group of clinging factors as conditioned. Bada, you are skilled in the bases of psychic power. You have attained the threefold knowledge. You are worthy of offerings, Bada. Set down the burden, O Bada. How great is our gain? How very great our gain, that we have met as pupils of the Awakened One. I am Bada, and he is Kapila, both of us freed from craving, having seen the drawbacks in the world's sensory bonds. We have gone forth. Cool, unbound, are we. Bada Kundalakisa, trailing after them for 3 years. I was tricked by the wanderers, wandering astray from the deathless. I shaved my head and then wandered on, seeing a field well fenced, a field that was well cultivated. I approached the Brahmin, and having approached him, I asked about the path to purity. He taught me about the path to purity, but it did not lead to the ending of pain. Then I saw him, the Awakened One, surrounded by a community of monks. Having approached him, I asked about the path to purity. He taught me about the path to purity, which leads to the ending of all pain. Now my head is shaved, I wear the Sangati robe, I am Bada Kundalakisa. This is the last time I will be tricked. Uttama, Uttama, go forth. So said the Buddha to me. Having heard the Stainless One's words, I went forth from home to homelessness. Cutting off my hair, I went forth, and doing so abandoned all that is flawed. Freed, well freed am I, freed from 3 crooked things, from the mortar, the pestle, and my crooked husband. Having uprooted craving, I am unbound. Kala, serene, my mind is composed, without agitation, free from attachment to all things. Having subdued my passions, I dwell in bliss. Freed from all suffering, I have become cool. Upakala, serene, my mind is composed, without agitation, free from attachment to all things. Having subdued my passions, I dwell in bliss. Freed from all suffering, I have become cool. Sisapakala, serene, my mind is composed, without agitation, free from attachment to all things. Having subdued my passions, I dwell in bliss. Freed from all suffering, I have become cool. Sila, on one side a stake, on one side a snare, the lure is everywhere set out by Mara. But Sila, with her wisdom, has cut down his army, like an elephant shattering a reed hut. Bhikkhuni, what use is your kinship? Prajapati Gautami, those who do what the Buddha teaches, they are my true kin. Bhikkhuni, you are frail, Gautami, you are old. Prajapati Gautami, even though I am frail, Gautami, and old, my mind is steady. I have reached peace. Gutta, sick, repelled, disgusted with the body, I went to see the Buddha. He taught me the Dhamma, the aggregates, the bases, the elements. Having heard his teaching, I cut away all attachments. Vimla, drunk with the pride of youth, beauty, and birth, I looked down on other women. Adorned, I went to the brothel. Then I saw Sabha, a nun, who was calm and without defilements. Shamed by her, I came to my senses. I went to the Buddha and asked to be ordained. Now I am free from all suffering. Meghiya, I was a servant, but now I am free. I have let go of my anger, my greed, and my delusion. I have gone to the root of the tree and dwell there in bliss. I have conquered Mara and his army. I am a daughter of the Buddha, one who is born from his mouth. Sona, sick, I lay on my sickbed. Then I let go of my attachment to life. Having seen the truth, I am now without suffering. Soma, what should we do with our woman's nature when our minds are well composed? When knowledge is progressing, when we have seen the truth. Mara, the place that is to be attained by the seers is hard to achieve for a woman with her two-fingered wisdom. Soma, what difference does womanhood make when the mind is well composed? When knowledge is progressing, when we have seen the truth. Pew, I fill my water pot and go back to the water. I bathe those who are good, so that I might free myself too. A Brahmin then said to me, "Who do you do this for? Why do you keep going to the water?" Pew, I bathe those who are good, so that I might free myself too from evil deeds. The Brahmin, but surely all your evil deeds are already gone. Pew, whoever is foolish enough to think that they can be freed from evil deeds by bathing in water, they have not understood what the Buddha taught. The Brahmin, you are right, Pew. If I can be freed from evil deeds by bathing in water, then all the frogs and turtles will go to heaven. With that, I will follow the Buddha, the one who is hard to find. Uttama, freed, well freed. I am truly freed from three crooked things, from the mortar, the pestle, and from my crooked husband. I am freed from birth and death. I have conquered Mara, together with lust. Kala, I meditate, without losing focus. What is there for me to be attached to? I have dispelled all darkness. Know this, Mara, you are defeated. Upakala, I meditate, without losing focus. What is there for me to be attached to? I have dispelled all darkness. Know this, Mara, you are defeated. Sisapakala, I meditate, without losing focus. What is there for me to be attached to? I have dispelled all darkness. Know this, Mara, you are defeated. Sila, for 44 years, I have kept the precepts, but I have not found peace. Then I met the Buddha, who removes all suffering. He taught me the truth, and I understood it. I have cut all ties, and now I am without suffering. Vahis, formerly, I was born in a wealthy family. I was beautiful, and many men wanted to marry me. I hated the body, and I was disgusted with birth. I cut my hair and went forth. Now I am without suffering. Kisa Gotami, formerly, I was miserable. With a son, I went from street to street. I went to the Buddha, who told me how to attain peace. I have followed his teaching, and now I am without suffering. Ubarai, once I was suffering because of the death of my daughter. I went to the Buddha, who removed the dart of my suffering. Now I am without suffering. Sukha, sick at heart, I went into the forest. There I saw the Buddha. He taught me the truth, and I understood it. Now I am without suffering. Packer, I have plowed the fields of suffering. I have sown the seeds of craving. Now I have reaped the fruit of peace. I am without debt, I eat what I earn. Dhammadinna, all conditioned things are impermanent. When you see this with wisdom, you turn away from suffering. This is the path to purity. Visakha, suffering is born from what we love. When you are without love, there is no suffering. Siha, I have seen the arising and passing away of things. This is the path to purity. I have done what needed to be done. I am without suffering. Isadasi, I left home because I saw the drawbacks of sensual pleasure. I have realized peace. I have seen the truth. I have done what needed to be done. Bada Kapalani, I have seen the drawbacks of the body. I have realized peace. I have done what needed to be done. I am without suffering. The Elder Nuns. These verses are spoken by many Elder Nuns who have seen the truth, who are wise and accomplished. They have conquered Mara and his army. They are daughters of the Buddha, who are born from his mouth. The chapter of the Great Ones is complete. I have heard that on one occasion the Blessed One was staying near Savathi at Jita's Grove, Anthapikos Monastery. Then several monks went to the Blessed One. They exchanged greetings with him, and when they were finished with the greetings and polite conversation, they sat down to one side. Seated to one side, they said to the Blessed One, "Sir, the nun Dhammadinna, the daughter of a good family who has gone forth out of faith, when asked by Visakha, gave astute answers to his questions. Could it be that the Blessed One would approve of her explanation of these points of the teaching? Monks, the nun Dhammadinna is wise. She is of great wisdom. If you were to ask me the meaning of this, I would answer just as Dhammadinna did. That is its meaning, and that is how you should remember it." That is what the Blessed One said. Satisfied, the monks approved what the Blessed One said. Introduction complete. I have heard that on one occasion the Blessed One was staying near Savatthi in Jita's Grove, Anthapiko's monastery. Then Visakha went to the nun Dhammadinna. He exchanged greetings with her, and when they were finished with the greetings and polite conversation, he sat down to one side. Seated to one side, Visakha said to the nun Dhammadinna, "Tell me, lady, what is the purpose of ethical conduct?" "To be free of remorse, Visakha." "And what is the purpose of being free of remorse, lady?" "To have joy, Visakha." "And what is the purpose of having joy, lady?" "To have rapture, Visakha." "And what is the purpose of having rapture, lady?" "To have tranquility, Visakha." "And what is the purpose of having tranquility, lady?" "To have happiness, Visakha." "And what is the purpose of having happiness, lady?" "To have immersion, Visakha." "And what is the purpose of having immersion, lady?" "To know and see things as they really are, Visakha." "And what is the purpose of knowing and seeing things as they really are, lady?" "To be disillusioned, Visakha." "And what is the purpose of being disillusioned, lady?" "To be dispassionate, Visakha." "And what is the purpose of being dispassionate, lady?" "To be freed, Visakha." "Lady, is ethical conduct purposed to be freed?" Ethical conduct is purposed to be freed. Being freed is purposed by ethical conduct. But how is it, lady, that ethical conduct is purposed to be freed, and being freed is purposed by ethical conduct? Visakha, the purpose of ethical conduct is to be free of remorse. The purpose of being free of remorse is to have joy. The purpose of having joy is to have rapture. The purpose of having rapture is to have tranquility. The purpose of having tranquility is to have happiness. The purpose of having happiness is to have immersion. The purpose of having immersion is to know and see things as they really are. The purpose of knowing and seeing things as they really are is to be disillusioned. The purpose of being disillusioned is to be dispassionate. The purpose of being dispassionate is to be freed. That's how ethical conduct is purposed to be freed, and being freed is purposed by ethical conduct. Very good, lady. Tell me, lady, do all feelings come from contact? No, Visakha. But then, lady, do no feelings come from contact? No, Visakha. Feelings come from contact, and they do not come from contact. But how is it, lady, that feelings come from contact, and they do not come from contact? Visakha, feelings that arise because of contact are caused by contact. Feelings that arise not because of contact are not caused by contact. That's how feelings come from contact, and they do not come from contact. Very good, lady. Tell me, lady, what is the purpose of perception? The purpose of perception is to cognize, Visakha. But what is the purpose of cognizing, lady? The purpose of cognizing is to know, Visakha. But what is the purpose of knowing, lady? If there was no cognizing, there would be no knowing. Since there is cognizing, there is knowing. Very good, lady. Tell me, lady, how many kinds of sustained thought are there? There are two kinds of sustained thought, Visakha, initial and sustained. But what is initial thought, lady, and what is sustained thought? Initial thought is initially thinking about something. Sustained thought is dwelling on what was initially thought about. Very good, lady. Tell me, lady, how many kinds of elements are there? There are three kinds of elements, Visakha, the elements of sensual desire, of existence, and of ignorance. But what is the element of sensual desire, lady? What is the element of existence? And what is the element of ignorance? The element of sensual desire is the element of sensual desire in beings who are full of sensual desire. The element of existence is the element of sensual desire in beings who are not full of sensual desire, and the element of form and the element of formless realms. The element of ignorance is for one who does not know, does not see, does not approach, and is not clear about these elements. That is the element of ignorance. Very good, lady. Tell me, lady, how many kinds of affinities are there? There are three kinds of affinities, Visakha: affinity for merit, affinity for demerit, and affinity for neither merit nor demerit. But what is affinity for merit, lady? What is affinity for demerit? And what is affinity for neither merit nor demerit? When a person gives a gift, is ethical, and develops the heart and wisdom, that is affinity for merit. When a person kills living creatures, steals, commits sexual misconduct, lies, and is alcoholic, that is affinity for demerit. When a person gives up both pleasure and pain, and gets rid of former happiness and sadness, that is affinity for neither merit nor demerit. Very good, lady. Tell me, lady, how many kinds of conditions are there? There are four kinds of conditions, Visakha: root condition, object condition, immediately contiguous condition, and causal condition. But what is root condition, lady? What is object condition? What is immediately contiguous condition? And what is causal condition? Root condition is when these four mental factors, contentment, love, balance, and wisdom are conditions for the mental factors associated with them. Object condition is when the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind are conditions for the corresponding consciousness. Immediately contiguous condition is when these mental factors, the mental factors that have ceased and finished, are conditions for the mental factors that arise in sequence. Causal condition is when these four mental factors, ignorance, craving, action, and food, are conditions for the corresponding results. Very good, lady. Tell me, lady, how many kinds of nutriment are there? There are 4 kinds of nutriment: visakha, edible food, coarse or fine, contact as the second, mental intention as the third, and consciousness as the fourth. But what is edible food as nutriment, lady? What is contact as nutriment? What is mental intention as nutriment? And what is consciousness as nutriment? Edible food as nutriment is to be known as something that encourages the coarse body. Contact as nutriment is to be known as something that encourages feelings. Mental intention as nutriment is to be known as something that encourages existence. Consciousness as nutriment is to be known as something that encourages rebirth. Very good, lady. Tell me, lady, how many kinds of feelings are there? There are 3 kinds of feelings: visakha, pleasant, painful, and neutral. But what is pleasant feeling, lady? What is painful feeling? And what is neutral feeling? Whatever feeling is pleasant and agreeable is pleasant feeling. Whatever feeling is painful and disagreeable is painful feeling. Whatever feeling is neither pleasant nor painful is neutral feeling. Very good, lady. Tell me, lady, how many kinds of things are unskillful? There are 3 kinds of things that are unskillful: visakha, unskillful bodily conduct, unskillful verbal conduct, and unskillful mental conduct. But what is unskillful bodily conduct, lady? What is unskillful verbal conduct? And what is unskillful mental conduct? Killing living creatures, stealing, and sexual misconduct are unskillful bodily conduct. Lying, divisive speech, harsh speech, and talking nonsense are unskillful verbal conduct. Greed, ill will, and wrong view are unskillful mental conduct. Very good, lady. Tell me, lady, how many kinds of things are skillful? There are 3 kinds of things that are skillful: visakha, skillful bodily conduct, skillful verbal conduct, and skillful mental conduct. But what is skillful bodily conduct, lady? What is skillful verbal conduct? And what is skillful mental conduct? Not killing living creatures, not stealing, and not committing sexual misconduct are skillful bodily conduct. Not lying, not speaking divisively, not speaking harshly, and not talking nonsense are skillful verbal conduct. Lack of greed, lack of ill will, and right view are skillful mental conduct. When this was said, visakha, the son of Migara, said to Dhammadinna, "Lady, my teacher, you have taught the Dhammas so well. It's as if you have set upright what was overturned, revealed what was hidden, showed the path to one who was lost, or held up a lamp in the dark so those with eyes could see. Venerable lady, I go for refuge to the Buddha, the teaching, and the Sangha." Then Visakha, the son of Migara, delighted and rejoiced in what Venerable Dhammadinna said. 2. Sundari, daughter of Sundari, I am freed, utterly freed, from the mortar, the pestle, and my crooked husband. I am freed from birth and death, and all that held me back. I am free from it is mine. She who is bound is free. 3. Sabha the goldsmith daughter, once as I wandered in the Javaka mango grove, a lecher blocked my path. He blocked my path, that base one, and spoke to me like this: "Young woman, you are young and fair, why do you wander alone? I implore you, please, dear girl, don't waste your youth in wandering. What is it to you, base man, if I wander alone or not? I have broken with those like you. I am not in your power. With eyes like a wild deer's, with eyes like a nymph's, you wander without a companion. I implore you, please, dear girl, don't waste your youth in wandering. These eyes of mine are like a wild deer's, like a nymph's, as you say. This is how they appeared to you, fool, deluded by lust. I will pluck them out." Having said this to the lecher, Subha, steady in the Dhamma, plucked out an eye and gave it to him. Then she said, "Here, take it." Straightway the lecher lost his desire. He stood there sobered and asked her for forgiveness. "Oh, my lady, I did wrong to try to stop you, an awakened one. Go where you like, I ask forgiveness." Then Sabha, with senses calmed, went to the enlightened Buddha. And there she saw, and there her vision cleared. 4. Isadasi, born in a worthy family, rich and famed. I left it all behind, and I went forth. For I had seen the truth, the state of peace. Renouncing sensual pleasures, I went forth. My name is Isadasi, born in Ujjaini. I was the daughter of a wealthy merchant. I was asked for by a wealthy townsman, and so I went to be his wedded wife. But just a month of living in his house, I grew to loathe my husband, and I left. With hair all shaven off, I went forth then, and I applied myself to the Buddhist teaching. For 3 years I trained. Fulfilling his advice, I attained the triple knowledge as I learned the teaching. But then, because of what was left unsaid, I fell from concentration. For I recalled one deed I did before, and that drew back my mind. In a past life, when I was young, I was quite rich, extremely wealthy, abounding in possessions and grain. I felt such bitterness in my heart with my co-wife. I wished her evil, I wished her harm. Because of that deed, That evil I did. For many years I suffered in hell. And after suffering the pain in hell, I became a monkey in the great forest. And there I did the most unpleasant things, such as being castrated. I suffered much. And after that monkey's life was done, I became a she-goat for 500 lives. And as a goat, I was always castrated, so I was forced to suffer being female. And after that goat's life was done, I was born as an ox in a herdsman's house. And there they cut my testicles right off, so I was forced to suffer being male. And after that ox's life was done, I became a man who was born as a eunuch. It was as a eunuch I sought sensual pleasure in that life. That was the most dear to me. And after that eunuch's life was done, I became a woman, born as a slave. And there my work was unpleasant. I was always yelled at. I was constantly in fear. And after that slave's life was done, I was born as a woman in the home of a commoner. And then I was crippled, always sick, poor eyesight, ugly to behold. And after that crippled life was done, I was born again as Isidasi. Born in a worthy family, rich and famed, I left it all behind, and I went forth. For I had seen the truth, the state of peace, renouncing sensual pleasures, I went forth. Now I am one who has developed all the faculties. I am free from all taints. I am without defilements. I am one who has attained the triple knowledge. I have completed the Buddhist teaching. That's why, reaching back to former lives, I fell from concentration. 5. Tissa, for one who has lived in sensuality, pursuing only pleasure and enjoyment. It is hard to abandon sorrow. But I have given up sorrow. I have abandoned all suffering. For one who has lived in anger and hatred, consumed by resentment and bitterness, it is hard to find loving kindness. But I have cultivated love. My heart has found compassion. For one who has lived in delusion and ignorance, overwhelmed by confusion and uncertainty, it is hard to gain enlightenment. But I have found wisdom. I have awakened to the truth. 6. Sakula, having been pierced by the arrow, I was stricken. Everywhere my heart was shattered. I went to the Buddha, who removes the arrow, and he drew it out for me. That arrow so hard to see, embedded in my heart. He drew it out for me. When it was drawn, uprooted, extracted, he gave me confidence. You are my own true daughter, Sakula. I am a true daughter of the Buddha, born from his mouth, born of the Dhamma, a created heir. I live in the Dhamma inheritance. 7. Vada qualities, roaming, wandering. I broke my hair. I threw away my cloak. Everywhere hostile, in scorn of the world, I wandered in whatever way I wished. Seeing in the beautiful beautiful grove of bhikkhus surrounded by a group. I approached him asking about the basis of rebirth. He taught me the Dhamma, the aggregates, the sense fields, the elements, the truths. Having heard his teaching, I went forth. Having purified the divine I know my former dwelling places. 8. Packer, having lost my sons, my husband, and both my parents, I was afflicted. I wandered deranged, naked, without shame. Then I went to the Buddha, the best of men, who was teaching the Dhamma. Having heard his teaching, I went forth. Having purified the divine I know my former dwelling places. 9. Uttara, when I was 16 years old, I had no faith. I was beautiful, well-figured, and strong. I was proud of my form, my wealth, and my clan. And I despised other women. Then I went to the bhikkhuni's dwelling, and I saw Sama. Having seen her, I gained faith, and I went forth. Having purified the divine I know my former dwelling places. 10. Kala's sister, it's good for you to go forth, and having gone forth, it's good to live practicing. Having given up all sensual pleasures, be without possessions and pure. Having cut off craving, longing, and delusion, be without defilements, stilled and quenched. Having gone to the forest thicket, live alone, alert, not negligent, disciplined by the teacher's teaching. Having dispelled darkness, you will shine, like one freed from the jaws of death. Kala said, Sister, I will do as you say, and having gone forth, I will live practicing. Having given up all sensual pleasures, I will be without possessions and pure. Having cut off craving, longing, and delusion, I will be without defilements, stilled and quenched. Having gone to the forest thicket, I will live alone, alert, not negligent, disciplined by the teacher's teaching. Having dispelled darkness, I will shine, like one freed from the jaws of death. These verses were spoken by those noble women of good wisdom. 11. Sama, I'm sick, so weak, my limbs are failing. I lean on my staff to go into the monastery. My body is frail, I'm spitting up phlegm. My voice trembles as I speak. And yet I've steeled my heart. I've cut off craving for continued existence. See how systematic is the teaching of the Buddha. I've done what the Buddha taught. I am rid of all suffering. 12. Uttara, O Mother, I give you my due share of the merit, which brings every blessing. May you be happy, rid of hate. May you be quenched, together with all beings. Then Isadasi's mother said to her, Well said, daughter Uttara. You do as the noble ones do. I too am happy, rid of hate. I too am quenched, together with all beings.